Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to apologize for another video lecture because as you can hear sa boses po ni ma'am, medyo husky na ang boses ni ma'am. Kaya po, we are trying our best, or I am trying my best na i-keep or i-preserve yung natitirang boses ko para sa ibang activities. So, ayun po, I hope you would understand. But this video lecture is for our last lesson, which is about the remaining continents or the literature from the remaining continents that we still haven't discussed. So first is yung sa Africa, next naman po is sa North America, and lastly yung sa Latin America. So due to time restrictions, hindi na po natin madidiscuss yung sa European literature. So ito na lang pong huling tatlo yung i-discuss natin. So if you're ready, and if you have your notebooks with you, you can take down notes regarding yung mga lessons na mababanggit for today's video lecture. So first, punta po muna tayo sa Africa. So in Africa po, it is also known as the cradle of humankind. There is another country na note or kilala bilang isang cradle, and that is China, di ba po? So si China naman, cradle siya for another thing. It is a cradle for civilization. So, ibig sabihin, nandun po nanggaling yung mga ancient communities. However, dito po sa Africa, it is the cradle of humankind. Ibig sabihin lang po nito, yung mga sinaunang tao sa paniniwala ng mga scientists, ng mga anthropologists, ay nanggaling daw po sa continent ng Africa. Now, sa Africa po, they are very known, or yung mga literary pieces nila are known for having the themes of human spirit, and meron din daw silang desire for freedom as well as their desire for contentment. Bakit po kaya ganito yung mga concepts or themes na kadalasang sinusulat in African continents? Kasi po, if you all know, yung history po ng Africa, they have been under slavery for a very long time. So, syempre may mga countries na nag-colonize sa kanila. And during colonization, trinit sila as slaves. So, tinake away sa kanila yung freedom na dapat meron sila as a person, as a country, as a continent. So, dahil nga po siguro doon, sobrang tagal nilang na-feel yun, up until now, sa modern times, kahit na hindi naman na sila under ng slavery, ganun pa rin yung hold nila doon sa idea na gusto pa rin nilang mapalaya yung sarili nila. Maybe not for slavery anymore, but for discrimination naman. So, ayun po. Kilala din daw po si Africa as a country or continent that produces oral and written literature. So, para siyang Philippines, di ba po? Meron din tayong mga oral literature na kung saan pinapasa lang siya through words. Wala talaga siyang documentation talagang isinusulat. And ano po yung mga literary forms na meron from Africa? We have myths, stories, riddles, proverbs, as well as dramas. So kung titingnan sa Philippine literature, magkamukha talaga sila. Ano po? Di na rin nakakapagtaka kasi magkalapit lang naman yung African continent as well as Asian continent. So baka yun yung isang dahilan kung bakit hindi sila ganun nagkakalayo pagdating sa content as well as sa forms ng literary pieces. Ano daw po yung mga common language in terms of literary pieces sa Africa? Meron tayong English, merong Portuguese, as well as French. And these are all brought by colonization. So yun po yung sinasabi na dahil nga na-colonize sila ng iba't ibang mga bansa, syempre merong naging influence sa kanila, especially sa language na part. So yun po yun. Sino naman kaya yung sikat na author from Africa? So, tignan po natin, that is Chinua Achebe. So, sino nga po si Chinua Achebe? He is a Nigerian novelist. He is also a poet as well as a critic and professor. So, lahat po ng i-discuss nating authors for today, kung mapapansin ninyo, meron po silang unique feature. Ibig sabihin po, meron silang unique role na ginampanan in the society. So, ito pong si Chinua Achebe, among all of the authors that we had discussed, siya lang po yung natatanging professor na nabanggit po natin. So, si Chinua Achebe came from the country of Nigeria. He was awarded with Grand Prix de la Mémoire. Grand Prix de la Memoire yun ha. So it is French, kung mapapansin po ninyo. So yung Grand Prix de la Memoire, it is a French award-giving body in terms of literature. Yung award po ay naibigay kay Chinua Achebe during 2019. So, very recent lang. Ano po, kung tutuusin or kung bibilangin yung taon. 5 years ago pa lang ito. So, modern author po itong si Chinua Achebe. Ang pinakasikat niya pong sinulat ay yung Things Fall Apart, which is the most widely read modern American literature. So, nabanggit ko nga po na si Chinua Achebe is actually a modern writer na sa may African continent. So, sabi dito, Things Fall Apart is about Igbo life and colonial government. So, ano bang ibig sabihin ng Igbo? So, same with Bengal, para po siyang other name for a country, older name for a country. So, ano pong pangalan ng country na yon during the modern times or sa panahon ngayon? That country is known as Nigeria. So, since Nigerian nga si Chinua Achebe, syempre po, ang ikukwento niya sa kanyang mga stories ay galing po sa perspective ng isang Igbo or isang Nigerian. So, sino po ang ating main character in Things Fall Apart? Ang pangalan po ng main character natin is si Okonkwo. So, si Okonkwo po, yung Things Fall Apart is about the story ng buhay ni Okonkwo, kung paano po siya naging tribe leader sa isang community in Africa, kung paano po na-exile yung kanilang family, as well as kung paano humantong yung kanyang buhay or yung kanyang desisyon para mag-suicide. So, yun po yung kwento ng Things Fall Apart. Okay po? Let us now move on to North America naman. So in North America, sabi dito, it is the third continent with the biggest landmass. So ibig sabihin in terms of laki or lawak ng nasasakupan, ito daw po yung pangatlo among the 7 continents. Kung pagbabatayan naman daw natin is population, pang-apat daw po ito sa pinakamalaki. It is located on the Western Hemisphere and covers the countries, the United States of America, the Mexico, Canada, Greenland, as well as the Caribbean district. So if you can see sa picture, dito po, kung mapapansin niyo sa bottom right ng picture, meron dyan mga maliliit na mga islands. So yan yung tinatawag nating Caribbean district. And one example of a country from the Caribbean district is Dominican Republic. So, yun yung mga examples ng mga countries under that. So, for the author naman, ang pangalan po ng ating author from North America is David Weatherford. So, si David Weatherford is a child psychologist as well as a poet. So, sabi ko nga sa inyo, di ba, mga unique sila. And yung unique thing kay David Weatherford is yung pagiging psychologist niya, specifically sa mga bata. So, child psychologist. Sabi din po dyan, he also published poems in the Chicken Soup for the Soul na libro. So, yung Chicken Soup for the Soul, para siyang actually magazine type. May mga iba't iba siyang volume and per volume, meron silang fini-feature na author. So, si David Weatherford was once featured in the Chicken Soup for the Soul na mga book. So, ano po bang theme ng mga sinusulat ditong literary pieces? So, si David Weatherford po kasi, since he is a psychologist, sumusulat po siya ng mga stories, ng mga poems about positivity o kaya po yung mga self-help, motivational books. Yun po yung mga sinusulat ni David Weatherford. And one example of his work is entitled Slow Dance. So yung Slow Dance daw po is an example of a literary pieces that is about human relations. So kung babalikan natin yung sa Japan na literary piece, di ba po ang na-discuss nating author doon is si Abe Kobo. At ang sinulat niya pong literary piece or yung sikat niyang piyesa ay entitled as Tomodachi. Now, yung Tomodachi, it talks about human relations din, di ba po? Pero ang fini-feature niya is the negative side. Yung Slow Dance naman, ang fini-feature niya kasi is the positive side naman ng human relations or friendship in general. So, yun po yung pinagkaiba nila. So, last continent for us to discuss is Latin America. So, yung Latin America po, wala na ako nilagay dyan na sobrang daming information. Ang pinaka-important part kasi or feature of the Latin American continent is about their dialects or their language na ginagamit sa country nila or sa mga countries under ng Latin America. So, tinatawag pong Romance dialects yung mga ginagamit nilang language. Bakit po? Kasi daw po, malambing silang pakinggan kapag ginagamit mo yung language na yon. And one example or two examples of that language are Spanish and Portuguese. May isa pang example pero hindi na po kasi siya under ng Latin America. So anong halimbawa nun? Yung French na language. So kapag pinakinggan nyo kasi yung French, parang ang lambing-lambing. Wala kasi silang matigas na tunog sa kanilang alphabet. So halimbawa, yung word na croissant, sa atin kasi syempre sa Filipino, especially sa wika natin or sa language natin, matitigas kasi yung tunog ng mga letters. Sa kanila sa France, sa French po na language, malambot. So yung croissant sa atin, sa mga Pilipino, sa kanila croissant. Ganun po yung bigkas. So makikita nyo doon from the pronunciation pa lang, ganun kalaki yung difference. Kaya yung French, yung Spanish, and yung Portuguese, known sila as the Romance dialect kasi nga malambing silang pakinggan. So ayun po. Let us now move on sa author naman ng Latin America. We only have one author and that is Tess Almendares Lohacono. Typo lang po yung nandyan sa PowerPoint pero it's Almendares. So, wag kayo malilito ha. So, si Tess Almendares Lohacono, isa po siyang essayist as well as an entrepreneur and an instructor. So, yung pagiging entrepreneur niya makes her different from all of the other authors that we had discussed. And ito din po yung naging way niya para maging isang published author. And why is that? Isa pong content writer sa iba't ibang magazine publications, si Lohacono. Ano-ano po yung mga examples ng mga magazines na kanyang pinagpapublishan? So, meron po siyang column sa Worldwide Family Magazine as well as sa Of Course and sa Cortland Review. So, yun po yung ilan sa mga magazines na meron po siyang column or ibig sabihin doon siya nakakapag-publish ng kanyang mga isinusulat na essay probably about entrepreneurship. So ano po ba ma'am yung pinakasikat na sinulat ni Lohacono? Ito po yung title, yung Just One Thing. So yung Just One Thing daw po, it is about a conversation with a child or between a child and a father kasi hindi confirm yung gender nung bata or nung anak na kausap ng tatay. So ano pong sinasabi dyan? Yung father daw ay binibigyan ng advice yung kanyang anak na hindi niya kailangang maging magaling sa lahat ng bagay. Anong background nito? Mexican kasi sila. So sabi ng tatay niya, laging tayong titignan ng mababa or laging magiging mababa yung tingin sa atin ng tao because of our origin, because we are Mexicans. So yun yung perspective nila dyan. But sabi ng tatay niya, hindi mo kailangan or to be able to have your revenge, hindi mo kailangan maging magaling sa lahat ng bagay. Kailangan mo lang pumili ng isang bagay at siguraduhin mong magiging ikaw yung pinakamagaling doon. So, yun yung just one thing na tinutukoy ng tatay niya. So, if you have clarifications, any questions, pwede na kayong mag-raise para po mababalikan natin. So, yun lang for our discussion for today. I hope you understood about the literature from Africa, North America, and the Latin American continents. Thank you.